So, due to the virus that has been going around, we have actually had some delays, and as you could probably have guessed from the lack of videos being put out. I have been sent home from college, so I actually can't really record that much, because I would normally just record in my closet, where I just am not heard and just can't get any residual audio. Now I'm sent home, and as is my family, so they're all working from home, which means I can't really record easily. So bear with us, we're going to be slowing down a bit for the recordings, which not exactly the best thing for me because I kind of enjoyed having these couple of days to record, and then, oh wait, we actually can't because the virus is making everyone get sent home and everyone's working from home now. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be heading over to another area of this desert, Route 4, where there is actually a couple of other Pokemon to go over. The Desert Resort, where we now have access to some new Pokemon, in the form of Maractus being one of them. This is a bit of an interesting Grass-type Pokemon. It's got two abilities that are actually affiliated with weather, non-Sandstorm weather, so it has no abilities that benefit from Sandstorm, which is odd because you find it in a Sandstorm area. It's got good special attack. 106 isn't horrible, but two abilities that are not stellar, Chlorophyll, which doubles speed in sunlight, and Water Absorb, which increases HP if hit by a water-type move. Not horrible if you're using the Fire-type on your team and you can set up Sunny Day at will, but there's better Sunny Day setters and Sunny Day users. Much better, honestly. But we have a couple of other better Pokemon, and that is Dwebble. We've already encountered this Pokemon, and I can really not say enough good about it. Sturdy, fantastic ability. Shell Armor, prevents it from getting critical hits. So if you want to set up defensive boosts on this thing, you can guarantee those are not going through your boost, because as we know, critical hits ignore defense boosts. If you get up to level 34, which, yeah, you're starting to notice a lot of Pokemon in the Unova region have some pretty high evolution levels, you get access to the mighty Crustle. It's got Shell Smash. What is Shell Smash, you might ask? Well, it's just this move that allows you to cut your defense, both physical and special, for a 2-stage boost to speed, special attack, and physical attack. Yeah, coupled with Sturdy, this thing can't be one-shot if you're using it with Sturdy. So you can freely set up Shell Smash and just sweep through it with very strong rock and bug type stabs. It's a very powerful Pokemon, and it's not one that you would pretty much expect considering how bug type has been a bit downtrodden in all the generations. But then again, this is the generation that started to have bugs make a bit of a comeback. And unfortunately, no, we're not using Crustle on the team because Dwayne the Rock Lobster does not fit in the nickname bar. But Pokemon who are also going to be interesting in going over, we have Sigilyph. This is on not the route we are on before, but rather on the route just up here, in the desert area of the Desert Resort. Yeah, Sigilyph is a bit of an interesting Pokemon. It's got good speed and good special attack. It's a bit similar to, if you will remember it, Swoobat, where it was fast, had good special attack, good special stats, but had lacking physical stats. Sigilyph kind of comes up with a bit of a better combination of stats, having a bit better physical defense, at the cost of not having access to certain other moves that Swoobat had, but it makes up for it with Magic Guard. This is an ability that prevents it from taking damage from non-direct means. So, Toxic, Spikes, Stealth Rocks, Burn, Sandstorm, Hail, and I believe even in this is still the generation where it cannot be paralyzed. So if a Pokemon is paralyzed, I do not believe it suffers the speed drop, or it can be fully paralyzed and not attack. Yeah, it's a pretty great ability. Wonder Skin isn't not a horrible ability, it's somewhat useful. But overall, you're gonna want Magic Guard. It's just the all-around much better ability. We haven't gone up there yet. But yes, we have a lot of interesting Pokemon up around here. and we're going to be going over a lot of them. The desert area of this is, of course, as you can tell, crawling with items and the black glasses. Ooh, that's very good. That boosts the power of Dark-type moves when held by a Pokemon. And I know a certain Pokemon who's going to really enjoy holding on to those. She's going to be swagging with her baggy jeans and her new dark sunglasses. Honestly, I am really a big fan of Scrafty, or well, the Scraggy family. It's one that's kind of started to grow on me since having used it. And yes, you may have noticed, and I didn't really draw attention to this sooner, but we are playing on the file of Pokemon that is the black version. I mentioned this a while ago, where we are going to be having a bit of a dual playthrough. I meant to do this a while back, but the file I was using, well, this file in particular, it didn't record any of my voice audio, so all of that recording went down the drain, and I'd already passed where I would have wanted to pick up again, so we just said, screw it, I'm not going with this anymore, and just recorded it all on white version. I am a big fan of actually playing the black version, because it lets me play with a couple of different Pokemon I never would have played before. And, well, we've actually reached another area of this little desert. This little ruined area with all these statues out front. Let's take a little gander over there and see what these ruins have to offer. Beautiful statue of a Pokemon. Yep, this is Darmanitan's Zen mode. We can't get access to this thing yet. Keyword, yet. And we have reached the Relic Castle. This is an interesting place, mostly because it's actually got a couple of new Pokemon in the form of, there we go, Yamask. That's not a slang way of saying things, but that's just the name of the Pokemon. This is, bar none, one of the bulkiest Pokemon you're going to get access to, especially when it evolves into Confagrigus. If you want a great Eviolite user that isn't, say, the mighty Whirlipede as I am demonstrating right now, when it evolves into Confagrigus, this thing is freaking bulky as heck. It doesn't really get many good moves right now, so it's a bit of a struggle to use. This thing is pretty much just pure walling potential, and its ability of Mummy isn't the greatest thing out there. All it does is it makes the opponent's, or well, the target's ability Mummy whenever they are hit by it. So if something is using an ability where the ability enables them to be strong, it can help kind of mitigate that, where say they have an immunity from status condition, you want to get rid of that immunity to status them, say they have immunity, and they hit you with a move, it removes their ability immunity and puts in place Mummy. Not terrible in theory, it's just that a lot of abilities are much more passive, or they're like one-time proccing abilities, like Intimidate, where, okay, you can change my ability away from Intimidate, it doesn't matter at all. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but this thing is, again, bulky as freaking heck if you can get it evolved and manage to slog through it. It's pretty much just going to be spamming Shadow Ball after you get it evolved, but if it ain't broke, you don't gotta fix it. I like this place. I think it's a pretty interesting place, and we're going to be exploring it a little further, and of course, there are encounters. But yes, we're going to be exploring this place a little further. There are Pokemon other than the aforementioned Yamask you can encounter here. Alright, we actually haven't healed up and everything. I actually have not fully explored the entirety of the Desert Resort, which is probably a pretty egregious crime, if I may say so myself, because I was exploring this in the white version. I forgot how utterly gigantic this place is, and I actually even skipped over one of the most important places of traveling to a new area. Yes, over here, back at the entrance, I forgot to go over this, gentleman. This is a doctor. I'm a trainer first, a doctor second. I meant to go over this guy. I didn't actually go over because I kind of forgot about him. But yes, Dr. Jerry. He is like that doctor lady we saw at the Pinwheel Forest. Will heal your Pokemon after you have completed the battle with him, and he is having a Solosis. this is a Pokemon we have not encountered yet, and one that we will actually be encountering quite soon. So I'm not going to be going over it right now because we are going over it in a little bit, and we also don't have access to it. Wow, even Burn, it still took that thing out. Whenever I meet a trainer, I can't help having a battle. I mean, you're a doctor, so you can heal your own Pokemon, and you can also have battles with anyone you encounter, so that's doubly good. Now I'll make your Pokemon healthy. There we go. Pokemon are now fully healed. What does it say? Pokemon healthy. Desert Resort is a harsh place. Do you have medicines? I do not, because you are a good Samaritan who heals for me. And as we know, this is a desert. And what do deserts have? Sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, and has items everywhere. I am not exaggerating. The Desert Resort... Okay, don't make a liar out of me. There you go. The Desert Resort has a fairly large number of hidden items. Right over here we have a rare candy. We're probably going to be speeding this whole part up because this is just a lot of battles. Don't use Pokemon. But actually, we probably won't speed this one. But yeah, there are an absolutely insane number of battles in here, and a very large number of items. I would not recommend going through this right now. I actually would not recommend doing it, because at the risk of getting, first off, over-leveled, and second, there are 2 Pokemon in the Relic Castle I would like to go over and make you consider before proceeding. Ooh, Venoshock. That is an interesting move. Venoshock deals increased damage if you are poisoned. Just prefacing this with, that is a base 130 power special attack if you can poison. I don't know what the base chance of poison on Poison Tail is. I'm actually going to check right now. But yeah, if you can poison a Pokemon, and you can poison something and then hit them with a Venoshock, even if your special attack set isn't super stellar, like, you know, Scolipede and eventually Scolipede is, okay, Poison Tail is a 10% chance. That, if you poison something with with Poison Tail, it's definitely a great move to have, even with a lackluster special attack stat. Just because, again, 130 base power. Let's just look at Poison Tail. 50 base power, 60 base power. So already it is doubly as powerful as Bug Bite. You know, it's more than doubly powerful. That's not including the save of tech. That's not including the stats. But you know, we don't actually. We need something for ghost. Okay, we need something for ghost types. We're not going to be encountering a lot of ghost types up ahead, but we have Scraggy for ghost types. Yeah, let's do this. We might get the poison off at some point, and it might actually come in handy. I'll actually compare what special attack that is, because it might actually matter. But yeah, Venoshock is a beast of a move. Let's actually just look at Bayonet's stats right now. Yeah, we have a 49 physical and a 33 special attack. If we, say, did get the poison chance off and then hit them with a Venoshock, that would be our strongest move. Venoshock is not a move to be taken lightly. It's just kind of a shame we don't have access to the move Toxic right now, because that would just, that would make it broken. I know you can take this, Lang. Yeah, that's a tanky girl I love. Boom. Critical hit, very nice. Got that Moxie rockin' and rollin'. I do love Moxie as an ability. Is it already over? Yes, it is. You probably didn't see that coming. But I actually just wanted to show off that rare candy right there. So I am going to be going back to the Relic Castle because I want to go over the Pokemon that are in there that you can get. Because some of you might actually want to go pick some of them up. And if you do pick them up, you will want all the battles here for experience on them. better you just walk carefully in this place because... Yeah, Yamask is the first ghost type. I already went over it. Really, really obnoxious in how tanky it is. Wait, why did I use Venoshock? No, that was stupid. Actually, Venoshock might be slightly more powerful than... it might be slightly more powerful base stat-wise than Poison Tail against certain opponents. Because I don't have that much of a difference between special attack and physical attack. Okay, it's about a 50% difference. At the current point, it's not that big of a difference. So it might be a bit better to, in some circumstances, go with Venoshock over Poison Tail. Yeah, Yamask is using Haze right there. That's an interesting move. It's one that deals... It doesn't deal damage, but it removes any stat changes. This could be very helpful against opponents who, say, rely on evasion boosting, or, say, Swords Dance or Nasty Plot. It's actually a really strong move, and you see it a lot of times in competitive because it is capable of just removing stat boosts. You see these little sinkhole pits right here? If you walk through them, you do not sink down into them. However, let's head over here to this young lady. I'm getting two fossil Pokemon. Two Pokemon fossils, but they're just so heavy. So I take one of them off my hands. Here we have the first fossil Pokemon, and actually the only fossil Pokemon we can get in Unova. Right here. The Cover Fossil. Please tell me I was not the only one reading this as the Clover Fossil for so long. We have Tirtuga, a rock and water type Pokemon. It's got very respectable defenses. Two very solid, but very respectable physical defenses anyway. It has two fantastic abilities that complement it very well. Water and Rock has a fair number of weaknesses, and Solid Rock can reduce the damage you take from those semi-common weaknesses. And Sturdy just lets you not go down to a single hit unless the opponent has Mold Breaker or two other specific abilities, or they're using a multi-hit move on you, which multi-hit moves aren't really that common, and you can generally predict what's going to happen, and also you can look up a guide for what happens. When it evolves into Caracosta, all those stats just get better. It's very slow, as you can plainly see, but it packs a heck of a punch, and can even somewhat go mixed, because water does have a fair number of special moves. You can teach this thing Surf, and have it be a pretty competent Surf user. If those stats don't look pretty great as it is, it's got one other trick up its non-existent sleeves, or rather, up its shell. Shell Smash. I already went over this with a Crustle, but it's the same thing applying here. Two pretty good stabs with good moves, doubling your attack, special attack, and speed, which is not going to see much of a return on that speed boost, but it has the move Aqua Jet for priority. Functionally, it's an 80 base power priority move with stab and type effectiveness. You really can't complain that much, especially if you get Sturdy and those defensive drops are completely meaningless. There's another item that can make those drops meaningless. We'll be getting into that a bit later because we actually obtain it soon, but I'm not going into that because we don't have access to said item, and also it's a consumable item. The other one, the Plume Fossil, is Arcen. Yeah. You thought Darumaka's attack stat was stellar for how early in the game we are? Try a stat that's almost 20 points higher than that. And pretty respectable speed too. This is the epitome of a glass cannon. Its ability kind of complements this in that its speed and offenses are so wonderful that if it drops below half HP, its ability kicks in, and its stats go to crap. When it evolves into the mighty Archeops, or Archeops depending on how you pronounce it, the thing just gets even better. Its base special attack is the same as its previous form's physical stat, and that base physical attack stat and that speed is just downright wonderful. This thing is not a wall like Caracosta is, or actually like many other rock types are. This thing is pure damage, and it does that wonderfully so. Just be wary, its defenses are terrible, and if it goes below half HP, because it does have somewhat in that range of enough bulk to live neutral hits. It can go into Defeatist, and its ability can just utterly ruin it. It's not a bad Pokemon. In fact, I've seen a lot of people use it to very good effectiveness. If it weren't for the ability, Archops would be awesome, and I would say it's an instant recommendation. But I'm actually not going to be using either of them. If I do change my mind, I do want to get this Cover Fossil, because I would like to use a Caracosta on my team if I eventually decide to use it. Cover Fossil is a pretty good one, and I do think that there are a lot more ways to use a Caracosta rather than you just use a... Let's drink the sand, give me a sec. Oh, this gentleman is just saying that there's sand below. If you go running on these little sand traps, you will sink down into them and be sucked down the drain. There are items down here, or rather there is an item right here. It is an elixir, very helpful item, especially this early in the game. Oh, I did not pick you up. We have a revive. Oh boy, that is a very helpful little thing. We can't go down there because of the little ledge we can't cross. Frickin' things! Can I ask? Yeah. But yeah. Archeon and Archeops are wonderfully powerful. If you just want to blitz through the game, they can do it pretty well because they have a very bizarre wide move pool. Caracosta has a bit of an interesting move pool itself, but it's nowhere near as terrifying as what Archeops can do. Oh, right, you have Nightshade. That can really compensate for your pretty poor attacking stats right now, because Nightshade is a move that deals damage based on your level, so it's automatically doing 21 damage. And when we're also at the point in the game where set damage moves are really powerful. Doing 21 damage to me for free right off the bat, you really can't complain with that, especially when it also has Will-O-Wisp to just burn opponents and make it so that you're bulking even harder with that, you know, Eviolite attachment. It's a pretty good Pokemon. Come on! Freaking... I probably should have Venoshocked right there because... Ooh, that burn is damage. Because I wouldn't have taken the attack drop right there, and I believe he also has lower special attack. Lower special defense, I mean, not lower special attack. There we go. Bayonet. Yeah, I do like this place, and I am going to be training on some of these guys a bit later. I am already around the level I would like to be in both this game and White. So I would like to go take you guys back over somewhere. Actually, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no. I'm okay.